I'm Emily Seitz, and for my Do Something and Report It project, I did a home energy audit on my home in Maple Grove, Minnesota, that I live in with my parents, brother, and sister. I measured the energy used by 10 appliances in my home. 21% of all energy consumed in the U.S. is by the residential sector or houses. In 2017, the average American home used 10,399 kilowatt hours per year, or 867 kilowatt hours per month. Louisiana had the highest usage at 14,242 kilowatt hours per year, and Hawaii had the lowest at around 6,000 kilowatt hours per year. In Minnesota, the average is 9,804 kilowatt hours per year. These rates are much higher than anywhere else in the world, proving we can live without using as much energy as we currently do. The energy used to power our homes comes from mainly coal and natural gas. Coal is 33.2% of the supply, and natural gas is 32.7%. Cutting down on electricity use in homes means using less of these fossil fuels. I was interested to know what my home used and where I could cut down on my electricity use to help me stop from contributing to global warming and climate change. To measure my home's electricity use, I first logged how many hours per day I used 10 appliances in 1 week. I put these values in a graph and used the averages in my calculations. Fridge, freezer, UV bulb, and recirculation pump were all on for 24 hours per day. The fridge and chest freezer were the only variable appliances I measured. I plugged these appliances into a kilowatt meter for around 21 hours per day to figure out the kilowatt hours used in a 24-hour day. I used a kilowatt meter to measure each appliance's usage, except for my overhead lighting, which I measured by taking in the wattage of the light bulb and how many hours it was on per day. These are my measurements for each of my appliances' energy in kilowatt hours in 1 day. As you can see, the 3 biggest consumers were the fridge, TV, and UV bulb. The UV bulb is a UVC bulb that is placed in my home's HVAC system to kill germs and odors in the air. The amount of energy used surprised me because it used almost as much as the fridge and was the second biggest consumer. I wanted to see how my measurements compared to the average home. I was not able to measure space heating or cooling or water heating. However, I was able to measure lighting, TV, and fridge and freezer. My measurements were pretty much the same as the average home because all 3 of those categories were also my biggest consumers. Next, I compared this with my electricity bill. In February of 2019, the total was $150.01. We used 1,040 kilowatt hours of energy and emitted 1,391.52 pounds of CO2. This is for my home, which is 4,200 square feet and 5 people live there. This is pretty close to the American average of 867 kilowatt hours per month used. My 10 appliances total 3.372 kilowatt hours per day, or 107.9 kilowatt hours per month. This equals 10.37% of the total 1,040 kilowatt hours we used, which means about 90% of our energy use is from appliances that I did not measure. Some appliances that I didn't measure that I think would be major contributors are the washer, dryer, furnace, water heater, and 1 other fridge and TV in my home. Also possibly family usage of the appliances that I did not measure in my daily log, which would make my numbers smaller, and also the oven. From what I have learned from this energy audit, I think that my family could reduce our energy use by turning off appliances when they are not in use, like the TV and lights. For 24-hour appliances, we could reduce the number of fridges we own to just 1 in order to cut our usage from the fridge in half, since we now have 2. Since my whole family lives in this house, I'll also spread awareness to them about the appliances we should cut back on. Overall, this project taught me to be more energy conscious and made me think about the amount of electricity and energy I use every day.